of two different cities culminate here tonight as the Dayton All-Stars take on the Cincinnati All-Stars here on ICRC-TV. Alongside Adam Gehring, I'm Ethan Herzog. And Adam, this has been a night that has been waited for a very long time. These kids have been selected. They're ready to get things going here on the gridiron tonight.
Absolutely. This is going to be a huge rubber match between these two teams. They've played twice before. 2 years ago, it was the Dayton All-Stars winning this game, and last year it was Cincy. So
it's a very, very competitive series between these two teams, even though they've only met 3 times, and we're hoping that the weather stays away. There's some rain slated for later in the evening, but right now 78 degrees and a little humid, a little muggy here in the press box. But, I mean, hey, that's nothing that we're not used to here as two Roger Bacon alumni. But speaking of that rubber match, you see it right here, tied 1-1 in the series. They played twice already, 2023. Dayton took it in 2024. Cincinnati took it 29-20 in those two matchups. And this year, Cincinnati looking for a winning streak.
Winning streak.
Now looking at the notable players from both sides, star-studded rosters up and down the board. But looking at Dayton's Brock Baker from Fairmont, Aiden Lowry, and Tion Hill, I mean, these are 3 guys from Dayton that know the gridiron well. They have padded their stats this season, and not to be disregarded as well. Vinny Clark Jr., Aaron Dowdell, and Damian Dawson. And Vinny Clark Jr., son of a former NFL player.
Absolutely.
So, plenty of star-studded action.
Plenty of experience
here tonight.
Plenty of great rosters.
Now we will be back in just a few moments. It's the Cincinnati versus Dayton All-Star matchup here on ICRC-TV. Coming up next.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Stadium is the site in Cincinnati, and Dayton are all set to kick things off here for the All-Star game between these two cities. Alongside Adam Gehring, I'm Ethan Herzog, and happy to be back here at Roger Bacon. It's been a long time for me since I've been back here. You graduated a year ago or so.
It's been a little while, for sure.
You've been here more recently than I have.
I have.
But it's good to be back. And it's
over a full year since I've been in here in the booth doing this.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing night here between two very talented rosters. As kickoff low and will be fielded at about the 10-yard line. Tries to feed it back inside. It's a little bit of room. A couple of blockers will be tackled down at the 20. So that is where Cincinnati will start things off. Damian Dawson coming up to make the return for Cincinnati to start things off here. Remain into the starting lineup as well.
For Cincinnati at the 22-yard line.
Now, we were talking before the broadcast started, there's a lot of, obviously, Larry, and I keep saying it over and over again, lots of talent. We're going to see all 3 quarterbacks that are on each roster, all the running backs, all the wide receivers as well. So first down and 10 from the 22-yard line. Takes a shotgun snap, angle from Harrison High School, lets it fly deep down the field, opening shot, and it's caught at the 40-yard line. Big time first down to open it up for Cincinnati. We're off and rolling. Damian Dawson has the kickoff return and has the opening reception.
Damian Dawson on his home field, the St. Bernard Elmwood Place grad. Makes a huge catch on the very first play of this game.
Trips down to the bottom of your screen. Shotgun snap. Looks to the near side. Throw over the head. His intended target, looking for Braden Dunn. Wide receiver out of Mason High School. Had 15 receptions for 142 yards this season. The stacked GMC conference. I mean, when you talk about conferences in Cincinnati specifically, you look at the GCL South and LaSalle, Xavier, and Moeller and Elder, and then you look at the GMC.
You look at the GMC and your Lakota and all your other strong teams that are in that conference, Mason being one of them. Absolutely loaded field.
Hands it off. First rushing attack of the game and gains about 4 or 5. Brings up 3rd down and manageable for Cincinnati. Trying to protect their home turf here. Dayton made the drive down 75 or its own different ways. I mean, there's multiple ways down from Dayton. 75 just the most obvious of the group. You see as well the markings on the helmets indicating the next step. They have committed to university or not. Saw an Ohio State logo floating around out there.
Penalty marker on the play. Indication is personal foul, face mask.
Face mask penalty
That's
late.
a huge boost for Cincinnati.
Late call there. We're going to enter the red zone for the first time tonight. And doing my research here and reading some articles up on the Cincinnati Enquirer, this is going to be a shootout between both of these teams. Very high-octane offenses.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of points tonight.
Absolutely. We saw the other two meetings between these teams. We're both in the 20s. We might expect something more tonight, more points.
Sure, Dickie Engel itching to find his way into the end zone.
Absolutely, a familiar place for him.
Drops back, pocket collapsing, looks to his left, takes off,
wide
open field, that's 6. The Harrison graduate opens up the scoring for Cincinnati. It's 6-0.
Dickie Engel goes into the end zone for the Cincinnati touchdown.
How about that? I mean, the awareness from Engel just to find his open lane as the pocket collapses, saw the green pastures off to his left and just took off straight into the end zone.
Absolutely no one there to stop him. Engel, 30 touchdowns this past season, 30 passing touchdowns, but he can get it going on the ground too, and he does there.
Now a chance to see Roger Bacon's representative here tonight, but he will remain on the sideline. He is the kicker, Brandon R. The Spartans, they elect to go for 2 instead. Fullback dive up the middle, and they'll be stuffed. 2 yards from the plane, and it'll remain 6-0.
Conversion attempt is stopped.
So just like that, Cincinnati, they take their lead, try to convert 2 down after being up by 6 after the score, and Dayton stands their ground.
Dayton makes their first good play on defense. They'll look to tie it up soon, but they've got to put some points on the board if they want to keep up with this Cincinnati offense that we just saw. That was a very efficient scoring drive.
And we have a very good chance at seeing just that. You look at the Dayton offense here, you have a handful of quarterbacks that they may not have the passing yards that look very flashy when it comes to what you might want to see in a quarterback, but they have the legs to prove it. A lot of these players have right around 1,000 rushing yards on the season and combined for right around 7,000 all-purpose yards between all 6 of them in the backfield.
Absolutely.
So you could see a very strong running attack coming up here for Dayton.
Yeah, if you're Cincinnati, you're thinking you just got to be careful on the ground because it may not be the strongest passing attack that you'll see, but these Dayton guys can get it done.
Get set up here for Cincinnati's first kickoff of the game, and the new kickoff rule as well being utilized. And I never got to ask you what your opinion on it was, and I guess I'll ask you now while we're on the air. But thoughts on the new kickoff rule that's taken the NFL and now
yeah, the
high
NFL
school?
now high school. I forgot they put it in high school. I knew in the NFL it definitely changed. It made it a little safer, fewer injuries, but it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see it in high school and how it changes the game.
Picked up by Tion Hill, and he'll take it to the far side and be pushed out of bounds. A dangerous returner from Northridge High School stakes his claim at running back, 5'6", 160.
Jumped out of bounds by number 27, Williams.
Just over 1,700 yards on the year, along with 18 total touchdowns, led the team in the category.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the 23.
Making the stop for Cincinnati, number 27, Amir Williams out of Western Hills.
So now for our first look at this Dayton offense.
Alex Hornet is going to line up in the shotgun, running back to his left. It is Tion Hill, hands it off to him immediately. We're going to see the fresh legs, and dropped after a 6-yard gain, brings up 2nd down.
Tion Hill on the carry.
first thought is, are we going to see kind of yin and yang offensive styles here between both of these sides? Dayton run maybe the ground and pound game, and Cincinnati go through the air.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got Hornet in your backfield, led his conference in rushing yards as a quarterback with over 1,700 yards on the year. Definitely skilled in the run game, and they've got a good running backs to go with it too.
Handoff once again, breaks the line to gain, and be a first down. Slow churn up the field so far. 33-yard line is where the ball will stand. About 9:57 and counting to go here in quarter number 1. The third edition of the Battle of I-75, it's been dubbed. I'm sure when you think about that, you think about Bowling Green and Toledo. Snap taken, pocket collapsing, able to evade for the moment, passes incomplete. Was looking for Tion Hill, but the pressure was too much.
Had a good idea there, but Cincinnati was all over that one. They were not letting Hornet get that ball off.
And I mean, this is a Cincinnati defense that you look at primarily who's the schools that are represented. Anderson, who was in the state finals.
Absolutely.
Purcell Marion, who has been a very sound program. Winton Woods, who, if you are keen on the Cincinnati high school landscape,
you know Winton Woods.
You know Winton Woods,
Woods.
And their defense specifically. Hand off to Tion Hill once again, right up the middle. Gains a couple. Looks like signaling for a turnover.
Possibly a fumble here.
Amir Williams very adamant for that one, was pointing the other direction. He'll stay with Dayton. It'll be third down. Taking a look, and looks like his knee had hit the ground before any loose ball action. Here we go, third down at about 7 to go. Motion from right to left, fakes the toss, hands it off to Hill. Breaks one tackle and is brought down after about a gain of 2, and it's fourth down.
Oh, we've got some chirping here early.
I mean, I feel like you're going to see that here quite often throughout the night. I mean, Cincinnati and Dayton, they have that kind of natural rivalry being in the same state.
In the same state, right about an hour away off the same highway.
It'll be 4th and 6.
Ohio, a state known for its in-state rivalry, Cincinnati and Columbus. And you think about FC Cincinnati and Columbus Crew. Cincinnati and Cleveland, Bengals, Browns,
Bowling
Reds,
Green,
Guardians.
Toledo, Reds, Guardians.
Could keep going.
Yeah.
You have plenty of options. Snap away, punt high in the air. 2 receivers back to grab it. It'll be snagged on the near side. Here's a chance for Dawson. Trying to break the corner, and he'll be forced out of bounds and slammed on the ground.
Flag. Oh, boy.
And yeah, I mean, you have to think about it, too. Obviously, you look at this game, and do you want to commit the foul? Not necessarily. Are you going to because there's no stipulations? Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Look at it again. Dawson had the idea.
Yeah.
Just not the speed.
It's an all-star game. I mean, you don't want to cause any injuries, but
it's like the old school Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
You got to think about Sean Taylor, that massive hit
Yeah.
that lives in my mind rent-free and
Yeah.
has lived there
The
for
one
a
that
very long time.
always comes up when people are like, oh, the Pro Bowl's so soft now. This is what it used to be. And they always play that same hit.
It was always in the highlight compilations that you'd see on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Dickie Engel
Still in the game.
takes the snap. Short drop. Long throw.
There he goes again.
Overthrown. It'll land about the 10. Cincinnati wants a flag.
Nah, that was clean.
No pass interference. Intended target Damian Dawson once again. Already has 1 reception. Had the big opening play. About a 40-yard reception.
Looks like those coaches liked what they saw. It chose to keep Engel in the game. Smart decision by them. That Engel-Dawson connection has been elite so far this game.
And I've had the honor of covering a couple of Harrison games. They're 3-0 in conference play over in the Southwest Ohio Conference, and they had a fantastic season. 10-3 was their overall record. Beat East Central in their rivalry game. Was an exciting one there. Handoff right up the middle. Makes a cut. Trying to make it to the outside. It'll be tackled down just shy of the 40-yard line.
And they had a huge playoff win over Xenia. I believe they were the lower seed in that game, but they did manage to win it to go to the regional semis.
Very talented team. There's a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll probably say it time and time again when it comes to describing what we're looking at here, and it's straight talent. And obviously, there are plenty of other players who could be argued that should be on this team.
Yes.
But a lot of them are actually with their current next
Yeah, a
level
lot of them are going
teams.
D1. A lot of them are
If-
playing in college.
Justin Hill being that one who was actually my cousin, who we were talking about before the broadcast
Yeah.
happened, and it's a very very surreal for me to go from tossing the football with my little cousin in the backyard to watching him commit to Division I Alabama. So roll Tide. Angle hands it off right up the middle. Here's a big hole and an even bigger chance down the sideline and smacked to the ground. But not before a huge gain by D'Amico Harris.
D'Amico Harris playing on his home field, just like Dawson. That St. Bernard Elmwood Place team plays right here at Bron Bacevich Memorial Stadium, so he knows what it's like to rip off big runs on this field.
Would you say home field advantage for the St. Bernard guys?
Yes, I would. You could argue home field advantage for all of Cincinnati. I mean, some of the players have played on this field. Vinnie Clark, Justin Thomas, Elijah Engelman, several other players here.
Trips to the top, looks to the bottom of your screen, though, towards the corner and incomplete. Wanted the deep bomb, was looking for Darian Profit out of Fairfield. It's going to bring up second down.
It'll be second and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Good defense down on the other end of the field. Was able to push him towards the corner.
A few more chances for Engel here.
Wonder if we'll see quarterback switches after every quarter. The other three on the roster, Michael Corcoran out of Williamsburg and Brady Sutton out of Western Brown. As Engel fakes the handoff one way, goes right up the middle with it, and gains just enough, I believe, to move the chains. Another run from D'Amico Harris. 1,884 yards this season, 27 touchdowns on 204 carries. They're going to get quick back to the line. Inside the 10 for Cincinnati. Engel, pump fakes, takes it up the middle, wants it himself, diving for the plane, and it's just shy.
Number 4, Dickie Engel.
Almost a direct repeat of what we saw on that last drive. Just too many defenders in the mix this time.
Tackle on the play by 31.
And if he keeps this up, he could definitely break the record back when it was the East-West All-Star game. The record for most touchdown runs in a game is 3. That was set in 1972 by Charles Ushery of Taft High School. And if Dickie Engel plays his cards right, he may be in the record books after the night's over. Two men in the backfield for the graduate out of Harrison High School. Hands it off to Harris, and it's up the middle and in. 6 more points, and this one belongs to D'Amico Harris. Cincinnati leads by 2 scores.
Cincinnati touchdown.
D'Amico Harris, the Titan, former Roger Bacon Spartan, and now here he is scoring touchdowns in this all-star game. Looks like we do have a flag on the play, though.
Flag dropped towards the bottom of the end zone. Personal foul on the defense.
All matter.
Foul.
The offsetting penalties on both sides.
Offset. Touchdown is good.
So that's the second personal foul on Dayton. The first on Cincinnati, but the touchdown will stand, and looks like they will try and get those 2 points back that they missed in the first opportunity and make it a 14-point ball game. Trips out wide. Down to the bottom of your screen. One up top. Kendall Anthony, the lone receiver. Engel looks for the dump out pass, and it's incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of the defender, and it will be a 12-0 ball game after all said and done. But all things considered, everything going right for Cincinnati, have had a dominant ground game. Didn't have much through the air the last drive, but definitely still churning on all cylinders no matter what the game plan might be.
Absolutely. They got it done in the air, and this past drive they showed what they can do on the ground. Very strong offense on both sides, and it's going to be tough for Dayton to stop them. But one thing they've got to do is clean up these penalties. They've had 2 so far. 2 penalties in just as many drives. So they've got to fix that, and they've got to get this offense going if they want to hang with these Cincinnati boys.
Very multifaceted down here in Cincinnati. Good turnout here for the 3rd installment of this North-South, if you will, rivalry series. Started 2 years ago, back in 2023. All over Cincinnati and Dayton, fans have come out. The historic Bron Bacevich Memorial Stadium. Fond memories here for me and for you as well, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Many great memories.
Our year of overlap was the Corey Kiner senior year extravaganza.
Yeah.
Is number 3.
Now a San Francisco 49er. Big congratulations to him. Talk about surreal. I've had history classes with the guy. The kick loses all momentum, but I don't believe made the yardage minimum.
Yeah.
But to start, what a kick.
Yeah.
To just completely die out on the play. Brandon R. wants an explanation.
And that was a heads-up play by those Cincinnati defenders. They just rushed right in there. They didn't care whether it was short or not.
I mean, hey, that's exactly what we're supposed to do. I mean, I was on the kickoff team when I played football, and that's all you got to do. Stay in your lane and you just got to get down there.
Yeah.
Get down there, find the ball, try and grab the ball, but if you can't, then,
Grab the guy
lay
with
out the
ball.
guy.
Yeah.
That was my freshman year of high school. I played football for 5 years and stopped after my freshman year, then picked up volleyball, then picked up musical theater, and then picked up broadcasting. So here we are. I think the broadcasting and the musical theater kind of had this weird correlation thing that one kind of led to the other, but here we are.
Yeah.
Back to it for Dayton. Second offensive possession and almost picked off, but laid out. What a hit.
Pass is complete to number 2, Dino Johnson.
Johnson makes the catch, but Ali Dalio from Lockland lays the boom.
Gain of 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4.
I mean, you look at this perfectly formed tackle. Lower man wins, and I mean, you have that strength, you're going to go places.
Yeah. Diallo read that perfectly.
2nd down and 5 to go for Dayton. Pressure coming and surrounded and swallowed. A little flourish on the end for Dre Noah out of Western Hills. Had 2 sacks this season. You can add a 3rd if you want to count this all-star game.
Hornet with nowhere to go. That pocket collapsed quick, and Dre Noah got there at the perfect time.
And these are big guys, too. They're averaging about 250 pounds between the 5 guys up front. Dre Noah, 300 pounds. Big guy coming at you. Hornet looks deep down the field, wants a deep bomb of his own, extending and can't make the catch, but a flag comes out. It's going to be holding on Cincinnati.
There's a penalty marker on the play.
It's looking for Jaden Martin out of Northridge.
Dayton gets a big boost to their own with this penalty.
Elijah Engelman from Hughes on the other end of that play. Must definitely be a free first down, and the first time that Dayton stepped across the 50-yard line here tonight.
The 49-yard line will be 1st and 10 for Dayton.
Alex Hornet, 34-78 on the season. 609 yards through the air. Wants a little bit more. Throwing towards the corner and just out of reach for Jackson Davis at a Tippecanoe. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Pass intended for number 12, Jackson Davis. Ball is incomplete. It will be 2nd and 10.
A couple of substitutions as well, both sides. Don't want to forget or to give a shout out to the offensive linemen Malachi Cumberland, Calvin Fritz, Gunnar Steven, Wade Shellhouse, and Tabin Gifford, as well as Zane Hugh, Gavin Henry, Seth Gibson, and Trevor Severance. Big guys up front. Can't ever forget those guys. Renee looks, quick throw, one-handed grab. What a catch. Sideline for Jaden Martin.
To number 3, Jaden Martin.
Show off a little bit, why don't you?
Ball spotted at the 36-yard line.
A big first down for Dayton.
What a grab.
Man, we've got a drive brewing here. Just about 3.5 to go here first quarter. Cincinnati's leading 12-0. Dayton wants a little bit of action. And held scoreless on their last drive. They are currently making good use of their first time. Their offensive half is a big-time stop in the backfield. Nowhere to go. And a big-time loss brings up 2nd down. They blew the gaps just right there on that play.
Yeah. Hill was looking for that hole up the middle, could not find it, since he was not letting him get anywhere there. He's got 2 running backs in the backfield now.
2nd and 13. Here's the snap. Looking. Ornay overthrown. But a flag comes out. So it might be a holding call this time on the other end of the field.
It's like holding. You knew it was coming, and there's another big flag to get Dayton closer to the end zone.
Intended again for Jackson Davis on the opposite end of the field.
Indication is pass interference against.
Take a look step for step, but too much of the jersey there, and you got to turn around for the ball at least once.
Yeah. Jatrell Hunter from Aiken in on the coverage.
Will be 1st and 10 for Dayton.
Just a little too close with the jersey there.
Dayton inching closer and closer to the red zone here. Would enter for the first time tonight. Here's Tion Hill. Flag comes out way late, and it's going to be a false start call.
Indication is false start against Dayton.
That's another 5 yards back. This time due to an ill-advised error.
This has been a very sloppy drive on both sides. Multiple penalties now.
You have to wonder, I mean, you're just having a little fun.
Yeah.
You're a little antsy. You're playing in front of your family and friends. You're
exactly
playing in front of some of the best in the region.
And for some of these guys, this is the last time they'll ever strap on the pads. I mean, a June game after your graduation. One last ride.
1st down and 15. Ornay looks, has the outlet pass and tackled down after getting to the original line of scrimmage. Pass caught and dropped. Now it brings up 2nd down and 10.
Going to be 2nd and 9 at the 25-yard line.
Jaden Martin made the catch. Takes the 2nd down snap, rolls out to his right, throws over the middle, and it's caught. Trying to break through tacklers and dropped just after the line to gain. Clock slowly dwindling away here in this first quarter.
That's Jackson Davis out of Tippecanoe. Big time reception.
Great way to utilize the outside of the pocket as well from Hornay. Hornay and Engel, very high football IQ between both these guys. 1st down and 10 from the 12. Hands it off up the middle. Tion Hill wants to cut it back opposite way. Trying to break through tacklers. He's dropped at the 5. Tion Hill making his way over.
Great second effort after bouncing off that first lineman.
Well, this reminds me of a certain number 22 that used to wear the brown and white.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the mechanics and agility.
5-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 2.
Northridge had a special running back in Tion Hill. 5-yard line, under 36 seconds to go here in the quarter. Corday, 2 backs in the backfield. Delayed handoff, fakes the handoff, looking for it himself, and he gets dropped after a couple of yards.
Number 5, Alex Corday on the carry.
Like the wrong read on the option play, and it's going to be 3rd down.
Tackle on the play by number 11, Jordan Bailey.
About a yard to go until gaining a first down, but we will have to see what they'll do after the quarter break. Cincinnati leads at 12-0 as time expires for quarter number 1 after an exciting offensive-led first quarter between Cincinnati and Dayton's All-Stars. We'll be back with the second quarter, and we'll speak with Athletic Director Steve Rossi after the break.
How you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Thank you.
A place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Have you ever helped a fellow veteran?
Yes.
I do my best reaching out to my brothers and sisters in arms.
Have you ever asked for help yourself?
Most of us, we're not gonna admit that we need to help.
You don't have someone to kind of help you guide those thoughts. It can be really bad.
It's just a beautiful space when someone can trust you and say, listen, I need help.
You need some help?
Your toe chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure.
Yeah.
Welcome back, and the offsides call to open up the second quarter for Cincinnati, and that's going to give an automatic first down to the Dayton All-Stars. And welcome back, Adam Gehring, Ethan Herzog, and special guest athletic director Steve Rossi of Roger Bacon High School. It's a pleasure to be back, and glad I got to connect with you back before I got on this broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I was excited that you guys were on the call here. You guys are doing a great job. So, we're happy to host it here. It's the first Friday after school on vacation, and you know what? Let's host the All-Star football game. Get everybody down to Roger Bacon here in St. Bernard. We think this is one of the best settings, in high school football. So we're real happy to be hosting this. It's fun.
Toss play goes nowhere. Helmet comes off as well for Brock Baker, who was on the carry. But yeah, I mean, this is a big time opportunity for Roger Bacon, a year that had a lot of success. I mean, we saw volleyball win the state championship this year. A very successful volleyball program. I mean, when I was here from 2017 to 2021, they were always very talented. And what does that kind of mean to you guys as well as having baseball almost make it back to the state semis once again?
Well, year in, year out, volleyball is just a top-notch program. It's probably obviously one of our better ones. But to be able to hang the banner, bring the championship trophy back home, it's amazing. It feels absolutely unbelievable.
Throw back to the end zone, falls incomplete. Photographer has to dive out of the way. And I mean,
you mentioned baseball. What a run for those guys. I mean, what a coaching staff. They're so gritty. The whole team. It was awesome to watch them. But, sandwiched in between, we had Reese Riley, who back-to-back state championship swimmers. I mean, it's just been an amazing year for Roger Bacon athletics.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, not to cut you off, but I mean, just a lot of success overall, but for both current students and students after the fact who graduated. My class, Corey Kiner, is now a San Francisco 49er, which is another NFL draft pick for the Roger Bacon Spartans. I know passed into the end zone, touchdown for Dayton. First one of the game, looking to even things out. Jackson Davis of Tippecanoe finds it.
had 20 touchdowns this season, his first touchdown of tonight.
A good look there on a very quick route. Right through, just the slant route. I mean, that's Madden 101 right there.
Yeah.
Slants always win. Couldn't quite. The defender couldn't quite find his rhythm out there, but I mean, lots of success. We're going to go back to the Roger Bacon discussion here. Lots of success for everybody involved. Kick up and good for the extra point. Now 7-12. Cincinnati still in front with 11 to go here in the second quarter. But you also have a big construction project going on, is what I've heard. An atrium and a chapel kind of all wrapped up into one thing. What's that kind of look like for you guys coming up here in the future, and what is it really going to be used for?
Well, it's going to change the look and face of the school for sure. It's going to be a beautiful new modern building. It is going to house our administration offices and development offices, as well as the chapel for 150 people. So that was something that was very, very important to the school to be able to do. And, in regards to where everybody will enter into the school, we used to say, when you come into the school, you buzz in, and we hope that you come upstairs to the main office. Now you have to go directly into where the administrative offices are going to be, when you come and visit the school.
So it's more of a pipeline. You go here, and then if we don't want you to come in, you stay here, and then you can leave after that. But if we want you to come in, you can come in after
Exactly,
that.
That's right. That's
safer for students, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely safer for students. And you look at, obviously, safety for students, but just the student body overall. We're approaching 100 years of Roger Bacon. 2028 is the 100th year anniversary of the school's founding back in 1928. What does that kind of mean? And for you as obviously an athletic director who has seen the growth of the athletic program here at Roger Bacon, as well as just kind of everybody involved here at RB.
Yeah, it's going to be a big year all across the board. We're trying to do some special things in and around athletics for that 100 years. But in regards to the school goes, it's just a testament to the longevity of the school itself, its alumni. It's a generational school, as you know. Everybody that walks through school here, they're touched by, somebody else, another family member that could be 2 or 3 generations ago. But it's going to be pretty special. And, the community is really rallying behind it. The classes that are coming up, they're really excited to be the class of 2028, the 100th class. It's going to be really, really exciting the next couple of years.
Very strong return, which would not go down. Damian Dawson trying to make his mark there on that kickoff return. But, I know I personally am a legacy student. My father, my aunt all went to Roger Bacon back in the 1990s, and I had the opportunity to come here between 2017 and 2021. You were 2021 to 2024.
2024, and my mom went here as well, making me a legacy too.
So big legacy, and director and producer Patrick Mulcahy, also a legacy student who's back down in the truck right now. So shout out to him. It's a Roger Bacon crew here tonight. Run up the middle. Goes for a couple of yards, second down. But what does it kind of mean as well? Roger Bacon obviously has a big hand in, obviously, the host sites, but also what kind of other roles do you guys have in this all-star game? There's a plethora of people on this roster. Roger Horton is on this roster as well. And
so Roger's he's an officer for SWOFCA, and he's really been the driving force behind, finding a host site and wanting to do it here. So you take a look at the stadium and the setting, and anybody that comes down here to watch a football game or a soccer game or anything like that, they'll say, man, what a setting. This is beautiful. So wanted to have it here. And when somebody shows the kind of commitment and passion like Roger does and all of our coaches do, let's roll with it. Let's go.
Big time run down to the near side. We're down for Carson Lindholm out of Kings High School, 1,000 yards on the year.
Number 22 with a big run at the Bron, something we've seen many times before.
That's right. You had
definitely
mentioned.
have. I do have the record numbers here that you so graciously sent me. First in career rushing yards, first in career touchdowns, first in career points, first in career all-purpose yards for Corbin Kiner. Now with the San Francisco 49ers, had the single-season rushing yards record with 2,298 and rushing touchdowns of 40. So a single game, 363 yards, and had 7 touchdowns twice in a game. That was a single game record as well. Run up the middle. Not quite anywhere. Ball does pop out, but I believe ball is called
I think they said
dead.
he was down first. He was, so the ball was dead.
And also his 50 total points for CHCA in 2019, a very, very entertaining game back in 2019. His top 16 all-time in the OHSAA, and his 7,130 rushing yards is also top 16 all-time in OHSAA in career. So, I mean, just kind of a highlight in the 2020s if you look at it that way for Corey Kiner and this Roger Bacon Spartan program.
Yeah, he was amazing. You know, both of you have seen a lot of touchdowns that he had. They may have started right over here in this corner, but they ended up in the far end about 80 yards away.
Absolutely.
Breaking about 15 tackles along the way. And
he could not be stopped.
Yeah, and just just to see him achieve his dream to the next level, it's going to be really exciting.
Corcoran breaks free, but a pass interference call, I believe, down the far side of the field will give Cincinnati a first down. I mean, this has been great to reconnect with you. And, I mean, any final thoughts for you, Steve, and for anybody here watching, listening, any Roger Bacon alumni you want to give a shout-out to?
Well, first off, you two. To see you guys up here doing an amazing job, really proud of both of you. It's awesome. You guys are really, really good at what you do, and I have no doubt that we're going to be seeing and listening to both of you for a long, long time. And, just shout out to all of our graduates from this year. For their 4 years here at Roger Bacon, this was such an exciting class of student athletes and students to watch what they've achieved and what they've done. Just really, really proud of them. Can't wait to see them, what they do in the future.
Well, Steve, we're going to get back to it and let you get back to running around and saying hey to people. Appreciate you. Thanks for taking the time.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, guys. All right, bye.
Steve Rossi, Athletic Director of Roger Bacon High School. Was able to have a great 4 years under him. I mean, I was a student athlete for a brief stint. I was a 4-year bowler, I will say.
Bowler?
1 year varsity.
Hey, that's more years of varsity sports than I ever played.
I mean, hey, bowling's a great experience. You get to play bowling, obviously, but you also get to eat snacks while you're doing so. Yeah. Corcoran in the backfield, deep ball on the way, intercepted at the goal line.
In the end zone. Oh, my gosh.
Big-time takeaway for Dayton. They'll have it at the 20-yard line. Corcoran, he had a good look, just a little bit behind his intended target, and it's going to lead to a takeaway at a crucial moment here in the first half. 7:46 and counting to go. We take another look. It's a good throw, but an even better read by the defensive back. Blake Lawson out of Carlisle. 1 interception this season with 63 total tackles. And a big-time pick in the All-Star game to set up his offense. Run up the middle doesn't go quite as far as they'd hoped. New quarterback into the game as well. Gavin McManus out of Xenia High School. 5'11" to 185. Went 155 for 210. 1,901 yards with 11 touchdowns and 1 interception on the year.
Led Xenia to a 10-2 record, a very successful program this year. And we start to see that Dayton ground game that we're used to.
Second down to Nate from the 22. Takes a snap, throw to the sideline. It's caught, trying to wiggle away from his man, and is able to gain the first down a little bit more.
Pass complete to number 20.
Pass down to Tremont Henry. Two-way player, defensive back, wide receiver from Xenia. It's 2 Xenia products.
Seems like they might have some chemistry there.
Automatic connection there.
That's enough for a Dayton first down.
Well, first down for the visitors, I'll say.
Yeah.
You have to wonder, where would your pick be if the All-Star game would be held in Dayton?
In Dayton?
In Dayton.
I'd say Welcome Stadium if that's available. But
I mean, it would have to be, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic facility, home of Division I University of Dayton. Shares it with Dayton Public Schools. Rush comes near side. Chase Walker out of Greenview trying to make his way down. I think I'd have to agree. There's one school that the name is slipping me that had a fantastic facility that I covered a game at, and I can't remember what it is for the life of me. I want to say it may have been Piqua. They had a very, very nice stadium that I would say you could have it there.
Yeah.
But
I know
plenty of good opportunities.
They host the district championships for track and field.
They
I
do.
believe. But yeah, they've got to be a nice facility in that case.
Quick option throw caught. Cam Hardwick out of Graham High School. Now I'll ask you the same question, but Cincinnati, where? If it's not here, where would you host?
If it's not here, where would I host? I mean, you've got a lot of good options. Princeton being on like the north end of Cincinnati, it's not as far of a drive for the Dayton guys. I'd say that would be an ideal stadium to host it at. Yeah, Princeton's the one that immediately comes to mind.
I will give you Elder High School.
Yeah,
give a shout out to my friend Adam Duell, the media production tech teacher. I'll say I'm not completely sure of his title, but a nice catch over the middle.
Who's over at
just
Elder
shy of the
now,
first down.
just like back in high school. Yeah.
Yes, he does. He's an alumni and just got hired back after graduating college at Ball State. But I would say Elder. I mean, that's easily one of my favorite venues in high school football in Cincinnati, one of my favorite high school football venues in terms of traditional around the country. I'll even say that. But I mean,
it's a nice big facility. You can host a lot of people.
You can have, I mean, it's reminiscent of Nippert Stadium.
Yeah.
As well, and it's horseshoe structure. Handoff left side, trying to break a couple of tackles and be met at the line to gain, and they will give it to him. Chase Walker again. I think, too, it would be a pretty interesting experience, too, having it at Nippert Stadium.
Yeah.
Chance to play at a Division I and now Power 4 level school. Second year of the Big 12 for the Bearcats. Timeout called by
successful season this year than they had last year.
Yes, I will say that as a Cincinnati student currently.
We'd like the halftime participants to please report to the hospitality tent.
4:28 to go. Cincinnati leads 12-7. They kind of stumbling a little bit here offensively. Haven't had much momentum going in their favor. What do they have to do to turn things around if they want to prevent Dayton from catching up in terms of scoring?
Yeah. I mean, they've got to stop this. Like, Dayton's definitely putting together a drive of their own. And, I mean, Cincy had it going too, but that was a costly interception on the goal line. They were kind of knocking at the door, and Dayton just took the wind right out of their sails. So I think they've got to stop this drive, and they've got to get the ball back. 4:28, I mean, that's enough to go down the field, would you think, and get at least 3 points, maybe 6?
The way that we saw the offense ticking for Cincinnati early in the game, and it may just be a couple of substitutions you may need to make. You know, just have to see as we continue on here. Bottom half of the second quarter to go. Here's the third annual Cincinnati-Dayton All-Star Game. Drops back, pressure coming, able to evade a diving catch. And they're going to call it complete. How about that, McManus? Finds a laying out wide receiver. Make the catch. Acrobatic on the other end.
Yeah, the Cincinnati guys have got to slow down McManus. He's kind of been carving up their defense this drive.
Big drive so far. McManus in the pocket. Throws far side and met immediately. Only a couple of yards on the play.
Some more trash talk between these teams.
Max Howard was on the previous catch before the third down. Third down and 8 to go.
It's a third and fourth.
Scoreboard says fourth. The linesman says third. I'm going to trust the linesman.
Yeah.
Even receivers at the top and bottom, one back in the backfield. One safety back deep for Cincinnati on defense. McManus, I think the pass got tipped up in the air. It's going to fall incomplete, brings up 4th down, but a good defensive stand for Cincinnati.
And now you've got a tough decision if you're Dayton. This doesn't look like field goal range. I mean,
well, you never know. You might have a sleeper of a kicker back there.
Exactly.
Waiting in the wings.
Do you try to make it 12-10, or do you just pin Cincinnati as deep as you can with 3.5 left and just trust your defense?
It looks like the option is pinning.
Yeah.
Alex Hornay, the designated punter for this evening. 4th down and 8 from the 42-yard line of Cincinnati. 2 men back to receive for the hosts. Nice snap. Gets the punt away. End over end, drops at the 12, and will bounce its way into the end zone for a touchback. Elects not to return it. Jalen Griffin does. Looks like we'll see Michael Corcoran once again, quarterback out of Williamsburg, 6'3", 205. 1,523 yards, 12 touchdowns, 11 interceptions on the season for the graduating senior. The big drive here is about 3.5 minutes to go. Kind of feels like punching into the end zone, going to the locker room at halftime, carrying the momentum.
Yeah.
I do not own a BMW.
Neither do I.
Takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. Big gap.
Oh, there's a big run.
Here he comes, and he gets tripped up at the last second of the 30-yard line, stumbles forward for a few more, but D'Amico Harris making his way down.
Had a big touchdown run before, and now he's back in action. Cincinnati will have to be mindful of the clock here. If they want to use that run game, they could easily eat up these 3 minutes.
Was able to use his hand and propel himself forward a couple more yards. So sets up 1st down. Trips to the top. Lone man at the bottom of your screen, Kendall Anthony from CCPA. Hand off again to Harris. Gets stuffed immediately.
They saw it coming that time.
Great penetration almost immediately for the defense. Connor Earls down on the tackle. A linebacker from Shawnee.
Loss of correction. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10.
After no gain, 2nd and 10. Approaching 2 minutes to go here in the first half. D'Amico Harris has gotten the ball twice this drive. Had one big gain and then got stuffed the next. Corcoran wants to take it himself through the air. Instead, wants to use his legs, trying to break for the corner. He's able to scurry his way out of bounds before being tackled. The big gain sets up 3rd down and short. Excuse me, it'll be 3rd down and medium. They're being said to have stepped out of bounds at about the 38-yard line.
Gain of about 6 on the play. Correction, gain of about 4 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6. Do you run it here?
I think this is a passing play, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Takes the snap, looking for the short pass, deflected right up the middle.
Pass falls incomplete. Was knocked down.
Amir Gordon out of Wayne. Says, nuh-uh. It's going to be 4th down for Cincinnati in a big-time decision with 1:55 to go. And obviously you have 2 more quarters to go after this fact. But do you risk it and attempt the 4th down conversion here? Looks like they'll do just that. Offense staying on the field. Single back in the backfield for Corcoran. He looks to throw to the corner and deflected. Almost a diving interception. Locked down corner, Jaden Hackney. Flag on the play. It is declined. There's a penalty on Cincinnati. And Dayton's going to have it with about 1:49 to go in some prime positioning.
Personally different from what I would have done there, but I mean, you got to take your risks. If they had gotten that, they would be possibly well on their way to putting some more points on the board, taking an even bigger lead into halftime than what they have now.
What's your play call if you're on that 4th down drive?
On that 4th down drive, I'd probably pass too. I think maybe I'd pass a little deeper. I don't know. It's an all-star game. Have some fun. Just throw a deep ball. Maybe not the most fundamentally sound, but.
I mean, to be fair, I think the most experience either of us have in coaching is in Madden or NCAA 25. So,
yeah.
And I'm not very good at NCAA 25, so there's that. 1st down and 10 for Dayton. Still Gavin McManus in the quarterback position. 2 receivers to the top and bottom, and hands it off immediately. Spins through 1 tackle, gets met with another. Gets dropped after a gain of about 5. Tion Hill still carrying the rock.
Tackle on the play by number 12, Esquire Hurd.
Esquire Hurd on that tackle. Two number 12s on the roster for Cincinnati defensively. Vinnie Clark Jr., the other number 12. That pass just shy of the sticks. Stepped out with about a yard to go.
Ball spotted at the 29-yard line. It'll be 3rd and about 2 for Dayton.
Obviously, you mentioned Vinnie Clark, who is a fairly famous father, Vincent Eugene Clark, who had a long NFL career. Green Bay Packers, Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints, and Jacksonville Jaguars. Played at Ohio State. Was drafted in the 1st round, the 1991 draft, 19th overall. Takes the snap, pressure coming immediately, is able to evade, steps up, pump fakes, is trying to make his way to the line to gain. Did he get there? Looks like he did move the chains. Gavin McManus making it happen with his legs. The play prior set up the rush for Gavin McManus. And I mean, the elusiveness, the quarterback in the pocket just had plenty of room to work with. The pump fake was the key.
Yeah.
He was able to get up there, pump fake the ball, and land on his feet and take off the few extra steps to get the 1st down.
Yeah, when you've only got to go
over the middle, almost intercepted.
When you've only got 2 yards to go, that's a great way to just catch him right off guard, and McManus utilizes it perfectly.
McManus looks like a strong guy. Looks like he could lay you out if he really wanted to. Back to the Vincent Clark conversation. He was also, fun fact, an assistant coach for the Arena Football League team, the Columbus Destroyers. There's your fun fact of the day. Second all-team in the Big Ten in 1990 as well, back at Ohio State. Now his son, Purcell Marion. It's a Division II football commit. Deep pass on the way, wide open in the end zone! That's 6 for Dayton, and they take the lead.
Jackson Davis, 2 touchdowns. He has put his squad in front.
That for Jackson Davis, the assistance of his quarterback, Gavin McManus. Just a lovely ball. The blown coverage in the back to give Dayton the 1-point lead and trying to make it 2 with the extra point. Kick is up and good for Chase Walker. Running back that doubles as a kicker, and it's 14-12 Dayton with 46 seconds to go in the 1st half. I mean, that's a big-time momentum shift for both these squads.
Yeah.
That in Cincinnati, they had their pedal to the metal in the 1st quarter, and since then, it's just been all downhill. Michael Corcoran trying
Dayton
everything that he can, but Dayton's defense coming up big here.
Absolutely. And now the offense does their part. 46 seconds left. It's unlikely that Cincinnati will really do anything to get back in front.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see an exciting kick return for touchdown. A handful of these guys that are on this roster are also doubling as kick returners. Aiden Lowry for Dayton specifically, 303 kick return yards. Fortunately, no touchdowns for him. Very busy man when it comes to the kick return. Chase Walker back to kick this one away for the boys in blue. So blows and what seems like a timeout called by Dayton. Head coach Ryan Haynes. We're the Dayton All-Stars. Head coach at Greenview High School. On the other side, Kyle Hogan at St. Bernard Elmwood Place.
Both of these head coaches taking several players from their own squad onto this team.
I mean, as I think they would.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely got to have a couple of your guys there, especially if they've got the talent to back it up, too. I mean, you look
Hornay
at
out of Greenview. Yeah.
1,700 yards on the season with 24 rushing touchdowns. Chase Walker as well, 11 touchdowns on the ground, 865 yards rushing.
And Hornay's gotten quite a bit of time on the field this year, as Greenview had a 12-1 record, went on a deep playoff run.
And straight back, and return coming for Cincinnati. Has an edge on the corner, and it gets shoved out at about the 34-yard line. And they'll have it set up first down and 10, with 38 seconds to go here in the half. Again, Adam Garrick, Ethan Herzog here with you. Happy you could join us here tonight in ICRC-TV. Lovely night for some high school football. Didn't think I'd say that on a Friday night in June, but here we are. Nonetheless, I missed the gridiron, so glad to be back. Both of us at our alma mater. A little humid, but cooling off here as the sun's setting. Looks like Engel may have stepped back into the quarterback spot for one of the last drives of the half, and it's overthrown.
They know he can sling it deep.
Looking
for Brandon
number
Dunn.
10, Brandon Dunn, yeah. Took the words right out of my mouth. That's the thing. You can put two play-by-play broadcasters in a booth together, and there's going to be a couple of times where there's going to be a little bit of overstepping, but no harm, no foul. Something that we did back a couple of years ago, back when I came back after I graduated high school, and you were calling games here. Took over in my footsteps.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if RBSN is a thing anymore, unfortunately. I have no idea.
Exactly. I still run the Twitter. But
oh, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't broadcasted anything recently.
Engel looking for some space, cuts back, throws on his back foot, makes the catch, breaks out down the sideline, makes a couple of tackles. He's still going and tackled at the 25-yard line. 18 seconds on the clock. Damian Dawson, have yourself a day. Looking like Jamar Chase out there on the reception. Got the number 1 in his jersey to prove it and everything.
Broke 3 tackles, just the play Cincinnati was looking for.
Timeout taken.
With 19 seconds left, they've potentially got a few chances to go out at the end zone here.
You've got obviously 4 downs to go unless you convert on any of the ensuing plays, but you also do have a kicker that made it believe from 35 yards out this season. He's 1 for 6, 27 for 30 on extra points. Roger Bacon's own Brandon R.
He had a 39-yarder against Purcell Marion back in 2023. So he's got some experience kicking from a distance, but Cincinnati might need to get it a little closer if they want to put any points on the board on this drive.
DJ Hendricks to the bottom of your screen. Trips bunch up to the top. Takes the snap. Looks right. Evades pressure left. Rolls. Looks. Fires. Down the field. Back corner. It's caught out of bounds.
Pass is incomplete.
DJ Hendricks had the handle but didn't have the foot placement to boot. 9 seconds to go here in the half.
It'll be second and 10 from the 25-yard line.
With the trips up top, you probably would have thought Engel was going that way, and he was looking there, but almost pulls off a big play. Still some time left on the clock for the Cincy boys, though.
That's something that Engel has the talent for, is the deep ball.
Yeah.
Seen a handful of those in my time covering Harrison Wildcats.
Saw it against East Central, seen it against many other teams that Harrison has beaten this season.
The East Central play is phenomenal play, phenomenal ball for the senior quarterback. Second down. Looks left, now right, throws, contested and incomplete. 3 seconds to go.
It was looking like it might have ended up being intercepted, but they just knocked it away there. Double coverage on the play by Dayton.
That's almost one of those points where if you're on offense here and you see that kind of double, triple coverage, you got to play defense on that other end. And if you know it's going to get picked, it's time to turn into a defensive back, smack that ball away.
Absolutely.
Time for one final play, 3rd down and 10 for the 25-yard line. Engel gets his boys set. DJ Hendricks back to the bottom of your screen. Get the most recent deep ball. Whistle blows and a flag is thrown. False start on the offense. That's going to back them up.
Penalty marker on the play. Indication is false start.
The thing is, too, you technically then have a little bit more room to work with when it comes to the deep ball, too.
Yeah.
Back them up 5 yards. That gives you an extra 5 yards to sling it deep down the field.
And we know Engel's got the arm to get it there. Just a minor setback for this Cincy offense. Oh. Never mind. They got less room to work with now. Looks like the penalty was on Dayton.
Ball moved to the 13-yard line.
Could have sworn that it was a false start call, but
I thought that's what it was, too.
Now a timeout call by Cincinnati and all sorts of confusion going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder.
Back and forth we go, but all things considered, a very entertaining game up to this point.
Again, split the pot will be sold through halftime, and it is under the Bengals' tent.
Seats have filled out quite nicely as well. So I'd take a step out the left side of the press box where I made my broadcasting debut many moons ago, and kind of seeing as we take a look to the right, and lots of family and friends in attendance, and I believe some Roger Bacon faithful as well. We'll see one final game at the Bron for this year.
Final play of the first half.
2 seconds to go. Engel takes the snap, pump fakes once, looks to his right, helmet on the ground. Engel still looking, over the middle, and overthrown.
Flag.
The flag thrown at the very end.
We are not done yet. Maybe we are.
Penalty marker on the play.
It's going to be roughing the passer on Dayton.
It's on Dayton. We've got one more play.
Time's expired. Mark Klain is going to give Cincinnati one more chance. Engel had all kinds of time in the pocket.
A little too strong, that arm ended up being.
She also does have that problem from time to time. I remember one sequence, the game against Indian Hill, Harrison had 3 deep balls. He missed twice, then connected on the third one. Third time was the charm.
Third time's the
charm.
charm.
A deep ball, and he threw it 75 yards.
Like 75 air yards?
Not air yards.
Okay,
but 75 total yards.
Oh,
I should preface. 75 total
Okay,
yards.
I was going to say, that's for
that
a
would be
high schooler.
impressive.
Yeah.
One final play before halftime. Angle looks right side to the end zone.
Got it.
Touchdown!
Touchdown, Cincy.
Big 6 points at the buzzer for
Damian
Cincinnati.
Dawson, guess who?
Cincinnati. Pass complete to number 1, Damian Dawson.
Dawson gets one of his own. Cincinnati reclaims the lead as time expires. 18-14 for the hosts. The angle magic works itself. Discussions between the coaching staff. I think we're going to see a 2-point conversion here.
Yeah.
If I had to guess
For sure.
at all.
You got to go for 2 here.
Should they fail to convert, it'll be a 4-point lead for Cincinnati. A 6-point lead. On the contrary, Angle, left side, throws, high, caught!
He's got it.
2 points! How about that for Cincinnati?
Pass complete to number 88.
That's DJ Hendricks. We've got ourselves a ball game at halftime. 20-14, Cincinnati leads it. After the heroics of Dickie Angle, the touchdown reception from Damian Dawson. Be back after this. To 14, Cincinnati leads the Dayton All-Stars. And Adam, it's been a fantastic showing of talent and fireworks all through this one. And I think we're going to be in for a pretty exciting ending if my cards are laid correctly.
Absolutely. This second half is cooking up nicely. I mean, we had Cincy take a 12-0 lead early, and Dayton jumped right on it. They took that 14-12 lead, but Dickie Angle, end of the first half, he got it right back. Cincy up 20-14, and I mean, we've got a whole half of football left, and we are in for an absolute treat, it looks like here.
In terms of the scoring stats, D'Amico Harris and Dickie Angle both have 1 rushing touchdown. Damian Dawson has a receiving touchdown that Dickie Angle threw to him as time expired in the end of the first half. And on the other side, Jackson Davis, both touchdown receptions for the Dayton All-Stars. Alex Hornay and Gavin McManus throwing the 2 touchdown receptions. You see one right there. It's been a game that I think a lot of people are going to remember for a lifetime, and that could be said about those on the field as well who may be suiting up for the last time in their helmets and pads.
For the last time, yeah. I mean, they're getting a good game for their last game. I think they're going to remember this for a while, and they're going to have fond memories, many fond memories of high school football, but I think this will definitely be one of them.
Rain also trickling down very lightly, but no matter. We play on anyway. Brandon Nard down to send this one away. A high end-over-end kick, and it will be fielded out the back of the end zone for a touchback, and that'll be 20-yard line for Dayton to start things off here in the second half.
Brandon Auer on his home field, kicking it from the Spartan logo after he's been here for 4 years. Sends that one halfway down the field, and Dayton will start on their own 20.
I think, and I do want to say this too. I know we talked about the kickoff thing earlier in the broadcast, but I want to say it's interesting that high school does it, college doesn't, and then the NFL does. It's weird.
It is weird. It's definitely weird.
An interesting miss in the gap. Maybe they're going to input that next year. We'll see.
Hopefully. Or maybe. I don't know.
I believe the first game of the season is Kansas State, Iowa State, which would be a great one over in Dublin, Ireland.
Be a big one.
First snap and sacked. Look out. Big time defensive play for Cincinnati. Tristan Tincher out of Dayton gets his sack against Brock Baker, who's quarterback into the game for this drive. Excuse me, it'll be Alex Hornay, who is back in.
Tristan Tincher, the only Dayton Ram on this Cincinnati roster.
Handful of GCL co-ed members, though. Dayton, CJ, Alter.
Playing for the two different teams with how far apart they are.
Takes a snap, throws deep down the field, has a man, and it is caught. It's incomplete. Just kidding.
Close.
It's almost
looked like he had it.
A great one-handed snag by Jackson Davis, who has been all over the Dayton offense tonight.
He's got both touchdowns. You know he's their go-to target.
You look at this one, too. He had a step and a little bit of a grab there by the defensive back. No call. Let it go. This is an all-star game, so.
Of course. Looks like Jack Oliver there in coverage. The safety out of Winton Woods.
Star-studded Winton Woods defense. Near side this time. Makes the catch. Slips on the turf. Is able to recollect himself and gain a couple of yards, but I believe just shy of the line to gain. It's going to be fourth down.
Stretched that ball out at the end, but it was not close enough.
Jaden Martin trying for the extra inch. Good composure there and good balance to recollect himself after he'd slipped on the turf. To, I believe, 2 yards to go to gain the first down. Hornay takes a snap. Pressure coming off the edge. Throws as he's hit, and it's incomplete, overthrown. I believe that'll be a turnover on downs. Dayton faithful wanting a flag.
A little frustrated about the lack of a penalty there, but
it's going to be first down and 10 for Cincinnati.
Cincinnati ball, and they'll look to take their biggest lead of the game.
Led by as much as 12. They now lead again by 6. As there's the previous play. Looked like a little bit, another instance of maybe a little bit of a grab there on the arm, but will go uncalled.
Yeah.
Back in coverage, number 13, Elijah Engelman. Safety out of Hughes. I believe a timeout called now by Dayton. Gonna have a conversation here. Unsure what exactly is happening, but now both teams are heading to the locker rooms. I believe we might be stepping aside here. Looks like a discussion was made or was had by head coach Ryan Haynes and referee Mark Klain. And we're going to toss it to a quick break. We'll step aside to be back with more here in just a moment here on ICRC.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. and you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute pre-diabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Back in St. Bernard, 20-14, Cincinnati leads it over the Dayton All-Stars. We are in a weather delay. Lightning has been sighted and has struck in the greater Cincinnati area, and we will be in a weather delay for the foreseeable future. And for now, we will step aside and be back with the action once it resumes here from Bron Bacevich Memorial Stadium. Ethan Herzog and Adam Gehring will be standing by as we await the resumption of tonight's game here on ICRC. We'll be right back.
I am so glad you ladies are here. You each have your own rooms.
Thank you.
Is it okay to call you Mom?
Of course you can.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Come on! Go, Diane! Yeah, keep it going! Yeah! Go, honey!
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane! Woo! You got this!
It's important to get a flu shot each and every year because flu viruses are constantly changing and immunity from the vaccine decreases over time. Flu vaccines are updated annually to work against that year's viruses. The best time to get your shot is in the fall, but getting it later can still help. Getting a flu shot lowers your risk of getting sick, and if you do happen to get flu, it's likely to be less severe.
All right, I'm in the house.
Okay, what do you see?
Nothing yet. Hold on. I think I just heard something. I'm heading upstairs.
Okay, I am almost there.
I'm in the bedroom.
Okay.
Oh, shit. It's not here.
What?
The gun's not here.
What do you mean? Where is it?
Cameron? Are you in there? Open the door. Cam! Come on, Cameron.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. That I know what you're going through. I know things aren't easy, but you still show up. I wonder if you know that we can get help. That we don't have to go through this alone. Let's see how far we can go. Love your mind.
Hey, boss. Okay?
I said I'm fine.
Me to bed, see you in the morning. With the first date, Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because I felt like a failure. And then I realized, like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine, but if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Worsen, and for the interest and safety of all those in attendance and the players and their families, the game will no longer continue. But it was an exciting game, and Adam, it was great to call a game with you once again, and great to have you back here.
It was great to be back in the booth, Ethan. I hadn't been here in a while, and it was great to be back here for this All-Star game. And hey, we got a great game tonight before Mother Nature had to step in, but it was an exciting game between these two teams, and a great showing by the Cincinnati and Dayton All-Stars.
An unfortunate ending, but 20-14 is the final here as Cincinnati takes the unfortunate circumstantial win here tonight against Dayton. For Adam Gehring and Ethan Herzog saying so long, and thank you for watching to this year's edition of the Cincinnati-Dayton All-Star Game. We'll see you guys next year on ICRC-TV.